Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our class for today. Uh, you may see that our topic for today is kind of familiar because it is familiar with you. As you can, if you can remember, we had this topic or genres, the a more general term, genres. Last year, if you are with me last year, it's we had already this topic, but we're going to notch it up a little bit higher. Okay, so we all learned about all those genres, so we're going to notch it up higher. We're going to analyze this viewing genres. Okay, but before that one, let's go to our lesson outline. First, we're going to review the types of viewing genres as what was given to us. Okay? And next, the elements in a viewing material because we are going to analyze now. Kay pag first, I mean pag grade 7 ninyo, we only what they call this? We only uh identified these viewing genres, 'di ba? This time we're going to analyze these genres. That's why we're going to learn that lesson today. Okay? So let's go to our lesson. Okay, viewing genres are the classifications of materials that can be electronically viewed according to form, content, and style of delivery. As you all know in the because of our learning modality, the online modality that we have right now, we are forced to put all our instructional materials, all our activities, so through online. And one of this a very effective way of sharing content to you, sharing our lessons to you, is through recorded videos, diba? I think some of your teachers may give you a link to their recorded video, but in my case, it's the lesson itself I'm presenting to you through video. So videos are very important, and that is why it is important for us as well to uh, to determine unsa ni ng mga viewing genres. What are these viewing genres di ay? Okay? So, let's look into this genres one by one, and then we're going to learn unsa man atong what is needed for us to analyze these materials. Okay? So, first we have the movie trailers. Okay? Movie trailers are short clips of movies or any short videos used in advertising or promoting them in advance. Okay? So, you are familiar with this already. Okay? Next, documentaries. Okay? Movies or television programs that provide factual record of report on various issues. Okay? So these documentaries are longer, of course. Dili siya pareha sa movie trailer nga mubura. Documentaries are a little bit longer, and it will provide you with the factual record of report on various issues. Let's say, for example, if it is talking about the literacy rate of the students in the Philippines. So moro gyud na iyang topic all throughout. Okay? So that's a documentary. Okay? Actually kanang KMJS, 'di ba? Kanang unsa pa na iyang partner there ka rated Corina. So those are actually documentaries, but just a short one. Okay, a short documentary kay each episode, at least there are three segments man tingali na. So that's kind of like a mini documentary. Okay. Next, news flash. Okay, a single item of important news that is separately broadcasted and often interrupts programs. So you usually see this one especially sa itong mga free TV channels sa 7, sa 5, nga mukalit lag balita. So that's a news flash, okay? Internet-based programs. So these are online learning videos, programs, and activities which can be accessed through the internet. Okay? Very explanatory ang definition. Next, weather report. A sub-program within a program that tells and foretells weather forecast. Okay? So these are our viewing genres. Okay? Just a few of the viewing genres that we have. And there are a lot more viewing genres that are not included in this kaning introductory discussion. Naay kuha na namatay documentary sa na may naaga ni usahay ka ng Facebook nga post, 'di ba? Especially if you're following the infographic unsa na siya unsa the infographic chu 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 chu, and they create kanang educational videos or kanang very factual videos which you can also watch actually. Na what if, diba? So those are also one of the viewing genres that we can use. But more generally, it's become part of the internet-based programs. Okay, so basically there are a lot of viewing genres that we ought to watch. Okay, there are movies. So movies are also movie trailer raman to ang gisulti sa atong kani introduction nato, but movies can also be viewing genres. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, we're going to identify. We have this introduction. Okay, we're going to identify man yun unsa na siya nga material, what kind of material are we using. So at least if we are asked that one, we can know unsa na material, what material are we watching. Okay, now what I want you to do for this lesson, as what I've told you, we are going to analyze these materials. Okay, we're going to analyze these materials and then compare and contrast these materials. Okay, so I hope that you're going to use the following. Muna niya itong lesson proper. We are going to look into the things that we ought to look at when we analyze viewing materials or viewing genres. So let's start with the first one, and the first one is okay. Sorry, dapat ito introduction. Since this could be very diverse in terms of content, there's a tendency for the same topic to be presented in different perspectives, styles, or deliveries across genres. Oh, this is very true. This is very true. Okay, let's say for example a topic about literacy rate in the Philippines. It may be different. It may be different if we're talking about a movie or a movie trailer, and then it would also be different if we're going to look a documentary about literacy rate in the Philippines. Okay, it would also be different if we are actually watching the news about the literacy rate in the Philippines. So, as you can see, a material or a topic can be very what they call this can be used in different modalities or in different ways. You can have a movie, you can have or a movie trailer, you can have an internet-based program, you can have a documentary, you can have a kind of TV show or a what's it tawag nito, ani? Or a news. Okay, so this content, though they have the same topic, but they are presented in different ways. That's why we need to learn unsaon ni siya nato pag identify and pag-analyze, and how to compare and contrast or differentiate. Okay, how to differentiate these viewing materials of the same topic. Okay, so here are our guidelines. First, we need to look into the point of view of the material. Okay, now the point of view is the perspective of a narrative. Who is telling the story or delivering the message? Okay, so that's the question you need to ask yourself. Let's say for example sa news be, kinsa man ang nagtell sa story. Sa documentary, kinsa man ang nagtell sa story. Sa movie, kinsa man ang nagtell sa story. Okay? So, we can use that one in analyzing a viewing material. And actually, there are three kinds of point of views. Okay? We have the first, the second, and the third person points of view. Let's start with the first person. The first person point of view is used when the main character is telling the story. Okay? And it uses the I narrative. I am doing this, I am doing that, I went to there, I went to wherever, okay? And the main character gud ang nagtell sa story or someone who really has experienced the story, okay? So mostly you can find this in the movie, 'di ba? Kung first person, ako, okay. Ana na siya. Okay? Now the second person generally used in instructional writing or instructional kanang materials. Let's say for example karon, 'di ba? I am talking to you. Okay? So that means sakto ba? Yeah, I am talking to you. So you are the second person. You are watching this video on a second person point of view. Okay, I am talking to you directly. Okay? And it uses the you perspective. Okay? Sige, bitaw ko gamit og you, di ba? Kamo, you. diba? So that's a second person point of view. Now the third person point of view is used when the narrator is not a character in the story. Okay? Mao na ni mo gawas ni mga documentary kana mga KMJS, kana mga rated Corina. Oh, it can be classified as a third person point of view because the narrator is not the character in the story. It's Jessica Soho or Corina Sanchez, diba? So, third person point of view uses the he, she, or it narrator. Di mo maingon nga, sa kanang maingon ana, documentaries, we don't say nga, I or you, diba? We usually say, who is the character? Let's say, for example, si Maria ay nababahala sa kanilang, oh. So, that's the third person point of view. You are the narrator is not the character in the story or in the anything that you are watching. Okay? So that's the first thing that you're going to look into a viewing material, the point of view. Is it using the first person? Is it using the second person? Or is it using the third person point of view? Okay? So that's our point of view. Next is the length. Unsa siya katas ah? Okay? Now the duration of a viewing material, it will depend according to its purpose and form. So, again, it will depend on its purpose and form. Unsa siya katas? What should be longer? A trivia video differentiating magma and lava, or an instructional video detailing how volcanoes erupt. Okay? So, it will depend good on the length. Okay? So, you can say nga, this video is kanina minutes long. It's long because it has to explain blah 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 blah, or it is short because it only explained about blah blah blah. Okay, so that's how you analyze through the length. Okay, next, the language. Okay, now is the language used conversational? Mura ra bang nagstorya nga murag amigag amigo, just like friends? Is it formal, or is it informal, or is it animated? Okay, animated ka ng mga once upon a time there was a so that's an animated material. Okay, now language has a relevant impact as to how viewers will process information being presented in a viewing material. Okay, it will depend on the language being used. Let's say for example you don't listen very carefully to what kanang Jessica Soho na lang kita ha. You don't really listen to what Jessica Soho is actually saying, 'di ba? Okay. The delivery of Jessica Soho is an informal, maybe conversational gani, 'di ba? But let's just say nga informal yang conversational ang iyang pagstorya when it comes sa iyang kanang show nga Kapuso Mo, Jessica Soho. Di ba conversational raman siya, so you the way that you are going to listen to the material is you don't actually listen it nga mura kag naminaw og kanang wali or naminaw ka og misa, di ba? Kay behave kay ka, si straight kayo ka, and then you're going to listen very intently. No. Okay, it's just a TV show, it's just a documentary, and the language being used is conversational. It's just like Jessica Soho is, just narrating a story. Okay? So, you're more relaxed, and then you are going to, okay. So, and then you're going to say, okay, so this is what happened. You're going to adjust yourself. Now, let's say, for example, you are watching an instructional video like this one. Okay? So, what language am I using? Diba? Sometimes conversational, sometimes formal, diba? But when I am already here in a formal position, so you are going to really listen, diba? Okay, of course, this is your lesson. Okay? So, the language of the viewing material will really affect your how you are going to perceive, or how you're going to process the information that you will receive. Okay? Next is the mood. Okay? Now, a mood is referred to as the atmosphere. As the atmosphere it creates an emotional setting surrounding the audience. Okay? So, a good question that you can ask is what certain feelings or vibes are evoked through sound, music, color, and even the voice of the material. Oh, let's say for example if makita mo ng presentation sa TV. Let's say for example presentation Bisag unsa nga presentation, it will depend on the sound, di ba? So, kung unsay sound niya, let's say for example, scary ang sound, scary ang documentary or ang TV show. So, the mood that is being created is also eerie. Scary pud ang mood na gi-create niya. Okay? Because unsay mga elements na inyo makita, the color, the brightness, the voice, the background music, it will affect your mood. Okay? So you ask yourself, unsa may na mood ang na-create ani na material while I was watching this material, what was I feeling? Or what am I vibing to? Okay? So these are the materials that you are going to learn, the things or the criteria that you're going to learn when you actually what they call this, you're actually analyzing a viewing material. First, we go to the point of view. Next, the length of the material. Next is the language of that is being used in the material. Number four is the mood of the material. So I hope that you're going to use this one as you analyze viewing genres. Thank you everyone for watching our lesson. I hope you learned something and you took down notes. And God bless you. Stay safe.